Good afternoon or noon time, everyone. Welcome to the Study in Finland webinar. We are happy that you are part of the Study in Europe event here in Singapore and in Southeast Asia. And of course, very, very happy that you have taken an interest in Finland. We will shortly have some general ideas of what it is to study in Finland, but also then some actual presentations from our universities, so you can hear practical and actual opportunities about study in Finland. But before everything else, we will actually start with the welcome words by our ambassador, Mr. Antti Vänskä. So without further ado, I will pass the floor to you, Ambassador. Go ahead.
Thank you, Anna, and hello, everybody. So my name is Antti Vänskä. I'm Finland's Singapore ambassador to Singapore, and I'm very happy to greet you all, even virtually. I want to say a couple of things in the beginning of this webinar. First thing I would like to tell you about Finland is that Finland is a very international place. It's a little bit like Singapore in that sense that being international is a key ingredient to us. It's in our economy, it's in our history, it's in our way of thinking. So we very much appreciate when we see international students, international talent coming to Finland. We are always happy to make contacts, and that's what we need in order to survive also in this global world, and that's something that we are used to doing and enjoy doing. But of course, being international in the education system is one of the key things for any country to succeed. In that sense, I think that there are a lot of similarities between Finland and Singapore. As you know, probably Finland's education system is world class, has been the focus of a lot of attention in many different rankings. And we're happy to say that also our higher education system is world class. We have more than 30 universities and universities of applied sciences in different parts in the country. And there are more than 400 English taught programs in the Finnish university system. And lots of in both master's and bachelor's degrees. So it's really a good place to come and get an international training. That is something that we highly value. Maybe another thing that you have heard about Finland is also that Finland is the happiest country in the world. Actually, for the fourth time in a row, this is how we have been ranked, and that's a happy thing, of course, for us. Sometimes, quite often, actually, we are being asked what's the secret of Finnish happiness, and I guess, of course, there are many explanations to that, but I would say that definitely sort of a balance in your life, a sort of work-life balance, and balance between also balance which you can find in your studies, in your other activities, in your hobbies is is something where we have succeeded pretty well. So that's definitely something very important to making people happy. Of course, Finland is a very equal society. Equality is something that has been sort of sought after and nurtured for decades, be it gender equality or other equality in other forms. So that's definitely extremely important for making people happy. We are very much sort of a practical type of society. We do, as I said, we don't have a lot of hierarchies, and we tend to be sort of easygoing in the way. That's another factor contributing to people's happiness. Of course, there are a lot of things to do in Finland, as you saw in the video in the beginning. A lot of nature. I mean, the population of Finland is about the same as in Singapore, but sort of area-wise, Finland is a bit bigger than Malaysia. So there's a lot of nature and countryside to enjoy. We have 4 distinct seasons, and as you see in the background of Anna, there's a picture of Finnish summertime picture, and in my background you see some winter scenery. So that's something that many foreign students enjoy a lot. And of course, we also have very good connections to the other Nordic countries and other neighbors. So it's easy if you come to Finland, it's very easy to travel and see other European countries and enjoy also that part of life. So many good reasons to come to Finland, and I wish that many of you get interested in the opportunity of studying in our country, and hope that you will make the decision and come and enjoy. And I'm sure that you will be pleased with the education and happy in Finland. But thank you very much for having the opportunity to greet you, and I wish you a wonderful webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. Like the ambassador said, there are many reasons to come to Finland. Now I will share just a little bit more about the study opportunities, as the ambassador actually already mentioned some of them. But maybe to first introduce myself as well. I'm Anna Korpi. I'm the Education and Science Counselor here at the Embassy of Finland in Singapore. And like I said, it's really lovely to have you on board today. Let's see if I can. Okay. So, like I said, there are many reasons to come to Finland, and as you know, we are known as a country of education, and many of these points here, actually, the ambassador already mentioned. Something that is now very topical nowadays is that we already are, but we also plan to be one of the greenest countries in the world. For example, we have set very high targets for example, carbon neutrality and reducing, for example, climate emissions in the very next years, actually. We are, of course, also known for being very innovative and also as a sort of a technology superpower. We are known for companies like Nokia, but also nowadays of many other areas. Something that we also, of course, want to highlight, especially to our Asian audiences, which I know that this is very important. Finland is very safe and a well-functioning country. We are also ranked very high up there, for example, in things like one of the least corrupt nations in the world. We, like the ambassador already said, we are a member of the European Union, and that sort of gives you the opportunity, both in terms of course, your free time, your study opportunities, of course, during the normal times, but already as we see that Europe is actually opening up quite a lot already, even with the COVID pandemic, so that it is also already possible to travel within the European countries already. So something shortly about the education system, and of course you are now looking into the turquoise part of this picture, but the blue part is basically the basic education system and the general upper secondary and vocational level. But then after that, like the ambassador said, we have basically two kinds of universities. We have the academic universities, the research universities, and then we have the universities of applied sciences. And today, after my presentation, you will actually hear from both examples. You will hear from two universities and two universities of applied sciences. The universities, of course, focus more on academic research and the academic side of studies, and the universities of applied sciences work very close with our working life and have, like it says in the name, more applied study opportunities. Ambassador already mentioned this, that we have 13 universities and 22 universities of applied sciences. And nowadays, 400 to 500 degree programs already in English. This is something that our students often ask, do you have to know Finnish to be able to study in Finland? And of course, the answer is no. The opportunities that we are now talking about are the programs that are offered in English. Like the ambassador said, we have a very big country, actually, even though the population is not so big, but the country size-wise, geographically is quite big. And we are fortunate to have universities in all parts of Finland, basically. So you can, of course, study in the capital of Helsinki in the very south, but then you will also find excellent opportunities in all parts of Finland. So like I mentioned already, the universities are the ones that sort of focus both on, of course, high-level education, but also the research and science as such. They offer, of course, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and then doctoral degrees, and of course, postdoctoral opportunities as well. We don't have the actual latest numbers, and I'm sure the COVID pandemic has partly influenced this as well. But in, let's say, normal times, about 10% of our university students are international. And this is something that Finland as a nation really wants to increase in the coming years. So we welcome more and more international students to Finland, and I hope from this audience as well, we will see many of you in Finland soon. The universities of applied sciences are more professionally oriented, and they offer bachelor's degrees and then master's degrees, or what we call sort of higher University of Applied Sciences degrees. And if you were to go for this University of Applied Sciences master's degree, there's actually a minimum requirement of 2 years of work after your bachelor's studies. So that's just to highlight that the focus is very much on professional experience and working life relevant education. And also close to 10% of our University of Applied Science students are international. The place where you can actually find all of the opportunities available in Finland is the website called studyinfo.fi. So you can browse through the different options based on your interest in terms of themes or topics. And normally the application period is between November and January in order to start the next academic year. But nowadays there are actually, especially with the master's degrees, there are sort of university-specific deadlines as well, and some even offer actually rolling admissions throughout the year. There is a tuition fee, but we want to highlight that there is no application fee. So even if you apply, if you're not successful, you don't have to pay a fee for that. And you can find all the relevant information, general tips, but also, of course, the full list of universities on studyinfinland.fi. We, of course, also offer doctoral studies, and but this is a bit more complex picture because the universities that offer the doctoral degrees, they very much have their own sort of application periods and processes for this. But also you can find information of these opportunities on Study in Finland. And something to maybe mention is that at our doctor's level, there are no tuition fees as such. Of course, this fees information is something that our students and potential students always want to know, and this also varies very much. But we have tried to put together this kind of as an example, these sort of the range of the fees. So at the bachelor's level, it can be anything from about 4,000 euros a year to about 12,000 euros, and on the master's level from about 5,000 euros to maximum 18,000 euros a year. So this very much depends on the program and on the university that you are looking into. All universities and universities of applied sciences offer scholarship opportunities in all of the programs. And I think my next slide is about this. Something to remember that on top of the tuition fee, basically the entry requirement to get a student visa is that you have also the living costs that you need within a year to support yourself in terms of housing and the rest, food and all. You have to have that monthly and yearly expense to show. Like I said, all of the universities offer scholarships for non-EU students, and you apply for the scholarship as you apply for the programs. And usually that covers the tuition fee either fully or partially. So usually then actually you have to still have the living costs from your own or other sources, basically. At the doctor's level, basically, like I said, there are no fees. So of course you don't need the tuition, the scholarship for that. But then of course for the living expenses and almost kind of like a salary type, there are different kinds of funding opportunities from our National Agency for Education, from universities themselves, or then other, for example, foundations in Finland. So without further ado, we want to encourage you to take the plunge, like in this picture, to the happiest country in the world. Like the ambassador said, we are of course happy about this fame, but of course we also believe in this reputation. If we think about the quality of life and the different opportunities that Finland offers. Something to also mention is that after your studies, we very much would like you to also stay in Finland to work. And nowadays you can have, after you finish your studies, you can have an extension to your residence permit for about 1 year. So you don't have to have the work placement when you finalize your studies. You can still take time to look for a job and stay in Finland. There is nowadays sort of a starting point website, jobs working in Finland.fi, and that has some of the opportunities available. Of course, there are plenty of others as well, but this is one website to check. And something that the Finnish universities and universities of applied sciences are more and more focusing on is that they offer, especially at the end side of your studies, more and more career services and opportunities, so that you can find internships and then hopefully your first job. Then something to also market here briefly before we go into the university presentations, that even after this webinar, because this is quite a quick run through the different opportunities, we want to let you know that we are actually, so from the beginning of October, we are starting another sort of webinar series, actually, with 6 webinar episodes, really focusing on both the study, research, and work opportunities in Finland. Something that is called Future is Made in Finland, and through this link under Study in Finland.fi, Future is Made in Finland 2021, you can find more information about the program and also, of course, the registration. So we highly encourage you to stay tuned and find out more about Finland even after this Study in Europe fair. So as a summary, to sum up this quick run through of the opportunities for Finland, You can look through the opportunities at studyinfo.fi. Of course, then program by program, check the admissions information, apply for the program and the scholarship, then wait for acceptance letter, and then we will see you at the embassy here or in other parts of this region to apply for your student residence permit. Now I think I have taken enough of the time to from the colleagues already, so I would like you to have the opportunity to hear about the more detailed opportunities from our university participants. So I think the first speaker that we have assigned is Hanken School of Economics, and so without further ado, I will pass the floor to Natalia and Ida. Please go ahead.
Yes, hi, hello everyone, and thank you, Anna, and thank you, Ambassador, for such a great introduction. I will now start sharing my screen. Just let me know if it started to share. I think it's good now. So my name is Natalia, and I'm actually one of those international who once decided to come to Finland, and now I stayed here for good. And I would like also you to come and study first at Hanken and then start building your life here in Finland. So me and my colleague Ida will walk you through Hanken School of Economics and our opportunities that we offer you as an international student when you come here. We only have 5 minutes, as I know, so we will try to be very quick. But if you have any questions, please do ask them in the chat. And also in the end of the presentation, we will share our email address and we will be more than happy to answer all of your questions. So it was mentioned several times already that Finland has been the happiest country in the world for 4 times already, and I actually start to wonder if it correlates somehow with the statistics that Finns eat most of the ice cream in Europe and drink most of the coffee. Maybe you get this like carbon and coffee and energy, and also that also keeps you going up and keeps you happy. But of course, it was already mentioned that work-life balance in Finland is amazing and probably not comparing to any country in the world, I would say. Here you not only get to build a career, but also have your hobbies and have your own personal life. Also for you, once you come to study, it will mean that you will not only be studying in one of the best schools and best universities in the world, but also you will get your free time when you can build your own network, meet new friends, and enjoy everything that Finland and Helsinki has to offer. So about Hanken School of Economics. University was founded in 1909 and it actually makes us one of the oldest business schools in the whole Nordic countries. And Hanken has obtained university status quite early in 1927. So it's actually 100 years quite soon in 6 years. So Hanken is located in 2 places in Finland. We have one location in Helsinki, which is the capital of Finland, and also we have a branch unit in Vasa since 1980. Vasa is a small student town on the west coast of Finland, also a very lovely place and a real student community. In Vasa, every fifth person living in Vasa is, according to statistics, is a student. Hanken is a very small university. We have in total around 2,500 students at all levels, but we are a triple accredited business school. We have EQUIS, AMBA, and AACSB, and it's only 1% of business schools in the whole world that has managed and gained this triple accreditation, and we are really, really proud of that. And also this year, Hanken has actually ranked the best in Finland in the Financial Times ranking, so we are ranked this year number 55. For us as an international student, you may apply to master's program at Hanken. This is the one that we offer in English. We also have a PhD program, but we will not be that much concentrated on that one. But if you have any questions about the PhD program, please also feel free to ask us. We will try to answer or then take up your questions with our colleague who is working with the admissions to the PhD program. But to master's program, it's a 2-year program. We offer 4 specializations. Business and management with several tracks to choose from: economics, intellectual property law, financial analysis, and business development. Once you come to study at Hanken, you will see the diversity in the classroom. You will see that your peer students come from all over the world. And we are also really happy about that, because that will also give more broader perspective of the things that you will be actually studying in the classroom. We do also have scholarship opportunities for the best performing student. We will talk about the scholarships also later on in the presentation. And actually, we have been working a lot towards to help our international students to stay in Finland. And we have launched in 2017 Hanken International Talent, a talent management program that will help you to build your network in Finland in order to land the job once you graduate. Also, for master's program, we have 2 admission rounds. One is actually coming quite soon, on the 1st of November. And then we also have a rolling admission round. Anna also was mentioning about that now it's more and more common in Finland that universities also have rolling admission. So Hanken actually was one of the pioneers to start that. So that will be on the next year's side already, starting with the 1st of February. Now we will go a bit more in the details into admissions. So I will give the floor to my colleague Ida.
Yes, thanks, Natalia, and thank you everyone for joining us for this webinar series on studying in Finland. So I'll talk a little more about the admission requirements to our master's program. So in order to apply, you need to have a bachelor's or master's degree from a recognized university, meaning that it needs to be at least 3 years or 180 credits. And if you are in your final year of your bachelor's degree, you can obviously apply with a temporary certificate as long as you graduate before the last of July. And we do also require English language requirements. And on this slide, you can see the kind of requirements that we do accept. So if you have completed your bachelor's degree in Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, or UK, then we can accept that as proof of your English language skills. And if you don't have that, you can also prove your English language skills by one of the international English language tests, such as TOEFL, IELTS, Pearson, or Cambridge. And you can see the requirements on the slide. And in addition to your bachelor's degree, you need to have at least 30 credits in the subject that you're applying to. And Natalia was presenting the different subjects that we do offer at Hanken. So please make sure that you have the relevant number of credits in your degree, or top up with the credits required in order to apply. So if we could go to the next slide, please, Natalia. Yes, we do have a Gmat or GRE admission test requirement, or a GPA requirement, depending on where your bachelor's degree is completed. So if you have completed your bachelor's degree already in the EU area, then we do accept a GPA of grade B according to the US grading scale. However, if you have completed your bachelor's degree or are completing it outside of the EU, then we do accept the Gmat or GRE test scores. And in addition, you will need to submit a motivational questionnaire and a CV. So if we can go on to the next slide.
Yes, thank you very much, Ida. So I was also talking previously before about Hanken International Talent, and I would like to say a few words about that as well. So Hanken has launched in 2017 talent management program, and all new international students coming to study at Hanken are the part of that talent management program, which for you as a student will mean that you will get a possibility to get work experience during studies in different forms. It might happen through the case studies you will do in your courses, or you will make an internship, for example, either during your studies or during your winter break or summer break. It may come also in the form of summer job, but the main purpose of this Hanken International Talent is to help you to create a network in Finland that will help you to increase your chances to land a job upon graduation. And actually the employment rate of Hanken employees is really high. 96 of our alumni is getting a job offer before they graduate, and the rest will get the job offer within the 6 months of them after they receiving the degree. So at Hanken site, we are doing our best to help you to get your foot in Finland and in Finland, like business work and business world as well. Yes, just we have, I don't think that we have more slides. Just a second. Yes, we do, but I cannot change it now for some reason. Just a second, I will try to do that. Yes,
Natalia, I think if you could wrap up soon, I think it's we are a little bit over time already.
Okay, yes, but Ida.
Just short about our fees and funding. So Anna mentioned in her presentation that there are tuition fees for master's degree programs, and at Hanken the tuition fee is 12,500 euros per year, and that does cover only your studies. It does not include accommodation. However, Hanken does offer attractive living options in central Helsinki. And we do have scholarship opportunities for all non-EU EEA students that are required to pay tuition fees. But we can skip to the last slide with our contact information, and we're really happy to answer any questions you may have.
Yes.
So thank you from our part.
Yes, thank you very much. And sorry, we did overtime. We will now put our email address also into the chat as well.
Great, and I see that there's already a specific question for you in the chat about the language requirements. So if you could address to that in the chat, that would be great. Next, I will pass the floor to colleagues or actually students from the University of Vascula. So please go ahead.
Okay, hello. I will now share my screen with the presentation.
Hello, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. We are representative of University of Vascula, and welcome to study at the University of Vascula. Next page, please. We are student ambassadors from the University of Vascula, and my name is Deng Fuyu in Chinese. I come from Taiwan, and I'm studying in the master degree of biology of physical activity.
Hello, I'm Theodore Christofi. I come from Slovakia and I'm studying at JYU School of Business and Economics, and I study corporate environmental management. So welcome to Jyväskylä, our beautiful little city. So it's located in central Finland. It's mostly student city. As you see, it has 143,000 inhabitants, of which 30% are students. We are very, very close to nature. So you see on the picture, the campus, the white buildings are located around the lake, and also some of our dorms are also located close to another lake. So Jyväskylä is really surrounded by water bodies and forests. So it's very, very beautiful place to stay. And we're quite well connected when it comes to trains or other means of transportation. So it's very easy to get from Helsinki to Jyväskylä and from Jyväskylä to any other city in Finland. So it's a good place to start with traveling and so on.
And here are some facts of University of Vascula. Our university is a dynamic disciplinary research university, and since 1863, education and the society has been our driving force. And among the international rankings of all universities, JYU is among the top 3%. And there are 6 faculties, as you can see on the slides. There are humanities and social science, IT, and the School of Business and Economics, Education and the Society, Psychology, Sport and Health Science, Mathematics and Science. And we mentioned that this is a student city, and there are around 40,000 students in our university. And of course, we provide English taught programs in master's programs and doctoral studies.
So our master degree programs, I would like to introduce first the GSB programs, which are the most popular at our school. Our business school is actually accredited with AACSB accreditation. So we are one in the handful of universities that hold this accreditation. We hold very high standards of education, and students have many possibilities of internships and study abroad. Also, we have very interesting department of, faculty of information technology. So I would advise to look at all of our taught majors, and please Fu would introduce as well faculty of sports science.
As for other faculties, we have education and psychology, and it is mainly to, of course, help teachers to raise education quality in the future, and to be more acknowledge of the international development. And in sports and health sciences, it is the only university level unit for sports and the physical exercise in Finland. So it is definitely a good choice if you're interested in sports and health science. And there is in mathematics and science faculties, we have lots of programs to choose from, including biology and environmental science, nuclear and particle physics, nanoscience, and mathematics. These are all, you can choose from these programs that are taught in English. So what are you waiting for? Take your phone and scan the QR code, and you can get more information on the application. We're very looking forward to see you at University of Vascula in the future. Come and join us. Thank you.
See you at our panel later today, and don't forget to fill out your joint application. Thanks
so much. I think it's I can put in a small bit of advertisement as well, that I'm also myself from Vascula. So the view behind Theodore is really true, and the sky is that blue there. Thank you very much for this. And please, for the audience again, please post your questions for any of the university representatives in the chat. Thanks so much for this. And then now I think I will pass the floor to Ms. Johanna from Satakunta University of Applied Sciences. Johanna, please, the floor is yours. Please unmute yourself, Johanna.
Okay, thank you. So hello, everybody. I'm Johanna from Satakunta University of Applied Sciences, Finland, and I'm going to tell you some details about our university now. Hang on. So we are located on the west coast of Finland in the northern Europe. There you can see we are there by the Baltic Sea. And Satakunta University of Applied Sciences, we have had practical education since 1997 as a University of Applied Sciences, but some of our faculties have existed over 140 years. We have got 6,000 students from 60 nationalities, 4 campuses, and actually 13 degree programs in English. And we have got quite high quality of education at SAMK. So according to the survey of Ministry of Education and Culture, we have got the best education among those who have graduated from University of Applied Sciences. And we have also got the highest employment rate outside the metropolitan area in Finland. And there you can see our bachelor's degrees in English. So we are offering artificial intelligence, international business, international tourism management, mechatronics, nursing, physiotherapy, and sea captain programs. And then we have got 2 programs which are totally online, and they are industrial management and logistics programs. And about studying in a University of Applied Sciences, it means that, for example, we have quite involving studying environments. We are having automation laboratories, simulator classes. We have got our own educational travel agency, different kinds of academies. And then we have got enterprise accelerator for those students who wish to establish their own company when they are studying during their studies. And studying in a University of Applied Sciences means that it's a mix of theory and practice. So we have got quite small class sizes. And the studying consists of contact learning, distance learning, e-learning, projects, group work, company visits, and practical training and theses. So this cooperation with enterprises will give the students a practical view while they are studying. And something about our campuses, we have got good services for international students. So we have got international office, international students tutors, and student counselors to help the international students. We have got very good healthcare services provided for the students, which means that you can get those for 22 euros per year. And student discounts around the Satakunta region you can get with a student card. And our campuses are easy to reach by bike or on foot from the rented flats. And then about our tuition fees, it's 9,500 euros, except for the programs AI and mechatronics, it's 10,500 euros per year. And then something about our scholarship program. We have got early bird discount, Success in Studies scholarship, 2 kinds of Finnish language skills scholarships, and also a student ambassador scholarship. And then in cooperation with some education agencies or upper secondary institutions, we have got full tuition fee scholarship too. And then about our application periods, the next one will be in January 2022. And then the second one then in the autumn of 2022. And you can apply to some through direct application, as said before too in presentation. So all the application is done through studyinfo.fi portal during the application period. And you can find more about the requirements for application in a web address samk.fi/apply. And you can, of course, follow us on social media too. There are several channels for that. And in general, you can ask any questions from admissions@samk.fi. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Johanna. And SAMK is really located in the west side of Finland, so also another kind of atmosphere there. And like you saw, for example, the sea captain training is something very specific to Satakunta region in general and Satakunta University of Applied Sciences. Now I will pass the floor to, and sorry, if you have further questions for Johanna, please put them in the chat and or any of the other colleagues. Without further ado, now Taru, the floor is yours from Häme University of Applied Sciences.
Hello, and thank you. Welcome from my behalf also. I will share my screen just quickly here. I hope you can see it. But I'm here to talk to you about Häme University of Applied Sciences, or HAMK as we say. So we are a University of Applied Sciences located in the southern part of Finland, so really close to the biggest cities of Finland, Helsinki, Tampere, and Turku. And we offer in the moment 8 bachelor degree programs in English. And in total, we have over 8,000 students and 500 international students in 7 campuses located in the area. And just a few words about the education that we offer for our students is, I think, we are boosting the skills for employability, innovation, and entrepreneurship. And as a University of Applied Sciences, we put a lot of effort to the work life, how the students work with the in teams, with projects, with the companies. So we include real life projects for business in the all stage of studies. And we do have this individual approach for the student and quite small class sizes. So the teachers really know the students know each other. So it's a more like a community. And we offer these 8 bachelor degree programs in English in the area of engineering, business, design, and agriculture. So we have a quite wide variety with the programs. And for the application, we are introducing our details for the intake 2020. I think next week we will open all the details in our website, hamk.fi/applicants. But we are accepting the applications from October to November, for the quickies, and then from February to May. So you have plenty of time to apply. And then we are, of course, part of the Finnish National Joint Application in January. But during the year, you can apply straight to us, and we will go through the applications and do the accepting process quite quickly. So you will know during 1 month that if you are accepted or not. And we have the admission methods that we are introducing next week, more detail, but we have our own online exam. We are accepting SAT results. And if you have studied international baccalaureate, we can take you in by that degree straight without any further exams. The tuition fee for our English bachelor programs is 9,700 euros per academic year. And we do offer a scholarship program which awards students who commit to study Finnish language. And as said before, you don't need to know any Finnish when you come. But if you want to take part of the scholarship program, we help you to study Finnish and then award you with the scholarships. And that is because it will help you to integrate to the Finnish society and get a job from Finland more easily. And as we all know that when you come to another country and start your studies, different side of world, it's quite an exciting experience, and there is a lot of questions. And I'm here, of course, to answer those questions in the chat if you have any, but you are more than welcome to send any questions us to later by email or in our social media. And I think we all can relate that the fact that when you are doing these big decisions for your future, you don't just choose a university, choose the right fit for your future career and things that you want to do in the next few years. But thank you all. I think that was my timer.
That's very excellent timing. I think Finnish people are very practical, very prompt, and that was just a perfect showing of that. Thank you so much, Taru, for this presentation. And like said before, if you have questions for our universities, all the ones that have been now presented to you in this webinar, or also, of course, the ones that are also there on the Study in Europe website, you can get in touch with them directly, and most of them, for example, the best channel is to send an email to the admissions email that now you already see from many of these universities, and I think Taru can also share the HAMK University information there in the chat. Now, I think I would still, of course, we are already on overtime, but I would still be very happy to take any questions if you have for the students, for the university representatives, for, of course, myself or our colleagues in the embassy. But if you don't have further questions, then, like I said, I very much encourage you to get in touch with us later on. There's a question now: is Singapore A-level recognized as a qualification for admittance into bachelor's degree in universities? I wonder if the colleagues, the Singapore system is of course quite unique. I wonder if the colleagues would like to come in here to answer live this question. Anybody from, especially from the universities of applied sciences?
I might try.
Please go ahead.
I'm not familiar with the Singapore CFA level in that sense, but I think I can say that if you are able to apply to local university there in Singapore for the bachelor level, then most of the Finnish institutions will recognize that. It may not take you straight in, so you cannot be selected by that degree, but you are able to apply, and then there is some other methods for the like online exam or something like that.
Yes, I agree with Taru. So yes.
Yes, I think if I input from my side as well, that the Singapore system is of course similar to the British system, and there I think there's usually a good way. There's now also a question to that if you have the polytechnic diploma from Singapore polytechnics, will you qualify for a master's degree? And I think the answer here is that unfortunately no. But if you would apply for one of our universities of applied sciences for a bachelor's degree, usually they have mechanisms to kind of recognize your studies in the Singapore Polytechnic. So that might end up being that your studies in the University of Applied Sciences are much shorter than you would if you just would go into a completely new bachelor's program. But this is a little bit challenging for our system, because as Taru said in the beginning, it's usually so that if you are eligible to study in a bachelor's program in your own country, then our universities will recognize that. And yes, there was also a question that May already addressed, that can you work part-time with the student visa? And the answer is yes, you can. There's a limit, 25 hours a week within the current regulations. But that's already quite a lot of work. So of course we want you to be there mainly for the studies, but to get some extra income, you are able to work. And like said, we can then extend your residence permit after your studies, so that you have time to find your job. think there's a final question. Can we apply to Finland University with a French international high school degree? This I might pass to the admissions colleagues from the universities. I'm not so much maybe from Hanken or anybody from the University of Vascula. I know some colleagues are also online from University of Jyväskylä, or Taru or Johanna. I would say that normally all of the, let's say, international high school degrees, yes, qualify for admissions. But particularly French international high school degree, I'm not fully in the know of there. But yes, I would think so. Okay, like I said, now there's a question of are the PhD programs related to education psychology that we can study off campus? Should we be admitted to the program? This particularly, I know that the University of Jyväskylä is very, very strong in the educational sciences. I wonder if the colleagues from the University of Jyväskylä can reply there. And then there's a question of how's the cost of living compared to Singapore. Is living in Helsinki more costly compared to living outside the big cities? Answer to the later question is that is living in Helsinki more costly? Yes, it is a little bit, especially in terms of housing, but also our universities offer quite reasonable price student housing. But the cost of living, I would say, in Finland compared to Singapore is quite the same, actually. So for Singaporeans, this is good news, of course, but at least I would say that the like eating in restaurants, probably, for example, grocery stores are even a little bit cheaper in Finland than they are in Singapore, because we have, of course, a lot of our local food production that is more affordable there. So I would, but in general, yes, I would say that the cost of living is quite comparable to Singapore. But and yes, the living in Helsinki is a little bit more expensive, but like I said, with the student housing, with the student allowances, the student, for example, your allowance for the student meals at the university, they are still the same. So for students, not all the things are more expensive in Helsinki. But it is very much the capital region sort of set up there as well. I could take the last question there. The colleague from the University of Jyväskylä just replied to the educational psychology question. I hope you can find more information through this link. The Singapore question on is there a deferment granted for a bachelor's degree if you have to serve compulsory military service? This is a very, very good question for Singaporeans considering this, because I know that your military service is 2 years. In Finland also we have actually military service for 1 year, so it's quite typical for a student to apply and then postpone the study period starting for 1 year. Sometimes for the Finnish universities to postpone for 2 years has been a question, but I think this is always a question with each of the universities to handle separately. And you can then, of course, if you are accepted, you can contact the admissions. But if you need, for example, any, let's say, sort of validation of the situation that in Singapore the military service is 2 years, you can of course also contact us here in the embassy if you need to sort of ask for the vouch for this setup. But I know this is not always very clear cut. Well, I think there are still questions there in the chat, and I can leave the chat running for a little bit. For the colleagues to continue, but we have run quite a lot of overtime, so I will all take the floor from other European colleagues with their webinars. So I think I will end officially here, and like I said, you can get the best answers to your questions from the universities. And then I can remind you there that like I said, we have this study in Finland, the sort of Future is Made in Finland webinar series upcoming as well. And that will be also a very good opportunity to find more information there. I will post the registration link here in the chat as well very soon. But without further ado, thanks very much for taking your interest in Finland and being with us this Saturday, and of all your questions. I think there's been a good conversation there. And also to the colleagues from Finland, thank you for taking the time Saturday morning. Thanks very much for being part of this, and hope to see you in Finland soon. Thanks very much.